What up? It's RJ Fantasy Football Talk. You know what it is. The 40-second play clock. We back again for week 2. I'm Rodney. This is Jay. What's going on, bro?
Hey, nothing much happening here. I'm ready to get the second week going and, continue dominating these picks like I always do.
Man, we ain't trying to hear that. I'm coming back this week, man, so I ain't worried about it. But we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. I got no more games this week. So we're going to start where we always start. We're going to start with the Niners versus the Philadelphia Eagles. You know me, I'm going to take my boys this week. You start the usuals, Kittles, Debo. Louis Mitchell, he's been a big pickup this week as far as waiver wire. Let's see what Brandon Ayuk does this week. Maybe they say he's not in the doghouse, but we're going to see what happens. Hopefully he get himself together and he beat the Brandon Ayuk that we know. As far as Philly, you go Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor. If you need a receiver help, he played a pretty good game last week, but I'm going with San Fran in this one. We should take it, but I don't think it's going to be easy, but we should take it though.
Well, I think y'all defense is slightly better than the Falcons are, so I also have y'all winning this one, and I think it's going to be a little bit easier than you let on. I don't think the Eagles can really handle y'all. Sorry, Father. Hate to bet against your team, but I don't think y'all winning this one. So I'm going to get started with what is the greatest team in football we found out from last night. That's the Las Vegas Raiders. Though they handled the Ravens, I don't expect them to be able to beat the Steelers. If you go back, this game has always been close between the Steelers and Pittsburgh. And it typically goes to the home team. The last ones, going back to like 2010, have been all decided by only 3 points. So it should be a close game. I think this is a great game for the running backs, especially Najee Harris. Despite his slow start, the Raiders can't stop the run, so you definitely going to have him in your lineup this week. I don't really see a lot happening for a lot of the running backs, though Derek Carr had a great game. I think he's going to come back a little bit. You played Darren Waller, though, and I even think maybe you get some action from one of the running back, the wide receivers like Bryan Edwards coming in, or believe it or not, Hunter Renfrow. Look at the targets he got last game. If you go into Pittsburgh, I play the normal guys. Claypool and Deontay Johnson, of course. And though my clock won't go out, there it is. I'm going to still count that as 40 seconds.
Hey, I'm picking Pittsburgh this week too. I think Derek Carr, he does come back to earth a little bit. I still think he plays all right, but not like he did last week.
Yeah, last week was phenomenal. A little bit disappointed in the Ravens defense, not from a fan's perspective, but from what I expected, they weren't as good. I think the Steelers defense will do a better job, at least keeping him more Derek Carr-ish than last week.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Well, I'm going to go into my next game, and my next game is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Chicago Bears, and I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. You play your usual guys from Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon. You go from Chicago, you playing Allen Robinson and David Montgomery. That's it. Nobody else. Unless they tend to bring Fields in, or they say Fields is going to start at some point, or they say he starts this week, then you play Fields. I'm picking them because I think Matt Nagy is stupid and he just needs to play Fields. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Cincinnati should beat them, even though they have a bad O-line.
Yeah, I'm going to also go with the Bengals to win this one. I don't think I'm going to pick the Bears until Andy Dalton sits down. But we'll see. That's the one I think that game's going to be pretty close. So we'll see where
I think it is. I think it is too. But I mean, it could change if they say Fields is starting this week. But I doubt that seriously. So, I mean, anywho.
All right. Well, I go to my next one. It's the Saints and the Panthers. And one thing you can definitely believe that you saw last week is that Saints defense is good. They were really good last year, and I think they're going to definitely win this one against the Panthers. I like, believe it or not, the tight ends, Jawan Johnson and Adam Trautman, because they had half of Jameis Winston's targets. Despite the good game Deontay Harris had last week, I don't really pick him. I don't even really like Robbie Anderson this one. I like Kamara. I love CMC, obviously. I think Callaway gets back to what we expected to see from the preseason on this one. And of course, I'm going to go with picking Jameis. He threw 5 touchdowns last week. Probably a little bit less this week, but hey, I think he's going to have a really good game with this one.
Yeah, I'm picking the Saints on this
Yeah.
one too. I just think the Saints is a better team. I think Jameis should throw for more than 148 yards this week, but he should. But the 5 touchdowns and those interceptions is very impressive. So
Very
I'm not
impressive
mad at
start.
that. So I'm taking the Saints too. So that's a good pick. This next game is going to be short and sweet. It's Houston versus Cleveland. And I don't even need 40 seconds for this one. So I'm just going to say Cleveland's going to win. You start Chubb, Baker Mayfield, Kareem Hunt, Jarvis Landry if you need to. For Houston, you start Brandon Cooks. And I'm done. That's it.
Really excited to see what Brandon Cooks does. Because this defense is much better than the one he faced last week. But I think Brandon Cooks is going to be one of those sneaky picks people made that's going to put up stud numbers this year. So
what he finished top 7 last year in wide receiver yards. So
and still people just look. I think because Deshaun Watson was in there, they kind of just overlooked Brandon Cooks. You could get Brandon Cooks very late this year, so much later than I
got him.
You should have.
Yeah, I got him late.
Yeah.
I got him late in a couple leagues this year, so he gonna pan out for me too.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Let's keep it rolling. I have the Rams and the Colts, and I told those that were watching us on Wednesday, I think the Rams are the Super Bowl favorite from the NFC. At least I think they're going to make easy work of the Colts. I hate to be picking against all my parents' teams, but Matt Stafford is going to light it up. And I say again, he's about to light it up against these Colts. I don't know what I expect from Jonathan Taylor because that Rams defense is so good, but I think he should have a fairly decent game. I actually really like Nyheim Hines in this one as well. But, keep the defense in mind with the expectations, but I think they'll still be able to get enough to be fantasy relevant. I'm not playing any of the receivers from the Colts just because they're just not good. 12 of the 25 receptions went last week went to the running back. So stay away from them. If we're going to do a running back, it's Darrell Henderson because he should be quite nice.
Well, I will say this. I'm picking the Rams too, but I will say this. David Montgomery had a pretty good game last week against them. So,
but he's a different. That's why I kind of like Nyheim Hines in this one more than Jonathan Taylor. But we'll see how it goes. They'll be all right, but I think they shore up some of the defensive problems they had with the run against the Colts.
I mean, I think they do too. So I just feel like it's some opening holes that they can get into.
Yeah.
As far as running the ball, so I don't think it will be an issue. So
yeah, that's what I say. I don't bench either of those guys, but I know.
Yeah,
it's just we'll see how well they play.
Well, I'm gonna go to my next game, and my next game should be a good one actually. The Dallas Cowboys versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers to win this game, even though I love Dak. Amari, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke, I think all those guys are going to have good games. I just think the Chargers are just a tad bit better. Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Eckler, Mike Williams. I just think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Chargers edge them out in this one. So I'm going to tip my hat to the Chargers.
I'm actually going to show the Cowboys some love. I'm picking them to win this game. I was impressed with the way they played against the Bucs, so I have the Cowboys for the win. Okay. It pains me to actually do that, but yeah.
Well, I got to get back in this thing, so I gotta go against the grain on some of these games. So,
It's a close one. I think the Chargers could pull it off. I went all AFC West last week. I'm not doing as much of it this week. Yeah, but my next game is actually another AFC West team. I got the Broncos and the Jags, and I am picking the Broncos to win this one, despite the fact Jerry Jeudy's out. I think they're just a better team. The Jags are a mess, and they're going to continue to be a mess. I know that Urban Meyer's kind of pissing off the media over there in Denver because he didn't do an interview with them, but that's whatever. But I really like Noah Fant. People have been picking up Tim Patrick, obviously, and we talked about Cortland Sutton having big impacts with Jerry Jeudy out. But I think Noah Fant's a guy you don't want to forget. He's going to really benefit, I think, by being out there. The one thing about the Jaguars I do want to pay close attention to, we mentioned Wednesday that Carlos Hyde out-touched Jaden Robinson. I don't think that's for real because he got most of his action in the second half, but just watch it because it might not be a good thing. So
I'm going. I guess I'm. Do I go with the Jags? I think I'm going Denver. I'm gonna go with Denver on this one.
I think their defense is going to be.
The defense is going. Yeah, the defense is going to kind of. Trevor Lawrence is going to have a hard, long day.
3 interceptions last week.
Yeah, he's going to have a long day against that defense. So I think Denver going to pull this thing out. I ain't going to say with ease, but I'm going to say it ain't going to be as close as people think. So I'm going with Denver on this one. So I'm going to go into my next game that we got, which is another easy game, which it shouldn't be easier if you're looking at last week with Detroit, but it's Green Bay at Detroit. We got Aaron Rodgers coming back, struggling from last week. You play Aaron Rodgers, you play Aaron Jones, you play Devontae Freeman. You even play Robert Tonyan. I mean, I think Detroit doesn't have enough. We all seen that last week. They came back, sloppiness, but they came back last week, but they don't have enough to beat Detroit. The only person I'm starting is Hawkinson. You might want to go Swift. If you need Jared Goff, I don't know. I don't know if I'll start him, but if you need him, you put him out there. But I'm going Green Bay on this one.
Green Bay can't possibly be as bad as they were last week. So I'm hoping for. I've got Aaron Jones, I've got Aaron Rodgers, I've got Devontae Adams, and they sunk me. So they owe me big. They owe me big time. So. All right, let's go to my next game. This one I'm not at all excited about. I've got the Patriots and the Jets. I'm playing James White because, like we talked about Wednesday, James White is eternal. He's the running back you can always trust. Plus, I saw Damian Harris and Ramondre Stevenson fumble. They're going to be on Belichick's list. But, you still play Damian Harris, of course, because he should be that good. But I'm not excited about any of these guys. I don't really want to see these. But they're 2 young quarterbacks, so they're kind of going to be iffy. I'm not really trusting the passing game. If you go, you can say Aguilar and Jacoby Myers are the wide receivers you play for the Patriots if you have them in your flex spot. Corey Davis, of course, you're going to play again for the Jets. They did get Jameson Crowder off the COVID list, so he should have some action. I'm not really excited about any of them, though. James White is actually the player of this game I like the most, which is insane. But,
that's pretty bad. You got to go James White.
He looked pretty good. He had a lot of targets last week, so I'm like, okay.
That's pretty bad when you got to go James White and he the best thing on the field. I'm going to Jets in this one, though.
Oh, did I say who I was picking? I'm picking the Patriots to actually win this one. But
I'm gonna go to Jets. I think 2 rookies. I think Zach Wilson gonna get the best of Trevor of Matt Jones this week. So I'm going.
Okay. I take that. But here's a little trivia for you, all those watching the 40-second play clock. Look back at the last time the Jets have beaten the Patriots. It's been a minute.
it's been a while, but
and the last 2 times, I give you this hint, the last 2 times the Jets have won, it's been in overtime. And other than that, you got to go back quite a ways to find the Jets winning this one.
Well, I think Zach Wilson was warming up last week in that second half. He got a little bit better in the second half than he was in that first half.
Yeah, he did.
So I think he's trending up as far as doing better. So I'll see. I think the Jets will win this thing, though. I got the Jets in this one. That's another pick I'm trying to kind of get back in this thing. So that's another one. So
you're digging your hole deep.
Whatever. I'm trying, people.
Go ahead.
Lord. My next game is Tennessee at Seattle, and this kind of hurts my heart because I'm picking Seattle in this one. The way Tennessee looked last week, it didn't look good. But you still go with the usuals. You go with Tannehill, Julio, A.J. Brown, Derrick Henry. They should have better games this week. But Russell Wilson looked good last week. DK looked good. Tyler Lockett looked excellent. Chris Carson, he played well. So I'm going with Seattle. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Tennessee going to make it a game, but I think Seattle going to pull it out in the end.
The Titans look so bad. I can't pick this week. I think I'm though I expect, like you said, I expect them to bounce back. I'm gonna still go with Seattle for the win. And hopefully Tyler Lockett can have a game. I don't think he'll be anywhere near what he was. That last game was crazy. but I could use it for my fantasy team. So if you got another game like that.
He was good last week, man. I tell you. Incredible. He was definitely good last week. But the thing with Tyler Lockett, he starts off fast anyway.
Right.
It's just down the stretch you got to worry about with him. But
this is true.
Hopefully that changed this year. So who knows?
Well, my next game is the Falcons and the Bucks. And I'm just going to say Tom Brady is awesome. And you pick just Tampa Bay yourself all over the place. Because the Falcons, they stink. They honestly stink. I had the Calvin Ridley #1 wide receiver in the league prediction. I'm already abandoning that. The Falcons are really bad. You, of course, going to bench Mike Davis. If you're going to play a running back for the Falcons, it's probably going to be Cordero Patterson because he's such a dual threat kind of guy, and they just find ways to get in the ball. But I'm playing Bucks players top to bottom. I don't even care who they are. Except Antonio Brown because he is still dead too.
Oh my gosh, the hate, you need to stop.
I got a whole lot of hate in my heart. But hey, Mike Evans for one has to step back up again for those that drafted. So Mike Evans shines and Antonio Brown gets 1 reception. And that's it.
I'm going with the Bucks, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, Bucks.
Yeah. Ain't no need for me to say nothing else. Well, my next game is Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins, and this is a division game. I think it's gonna be interesting, but I think the way they played last week, the question for everybody is we going to see the real Josh Allen, or we're going to see the one that was really bad accuracy-wise? I think Josh Allen comes out and plays a better game. You start Josh Allen, you roll with Stephon Diggs, and you even play Devin Singletary if you need to. For Miami, I would say Tua, but I'm not really big on Tua, but he should be okay this game. Myles Gaskin, Jalen Waddle needs to play better this game for them to even try to win, but I'm definitely going with Buffalo on this one.
I don't care how well Jalen Waddle plays, and I love me some Jalen Waddle. They are going to lose, and they're going to lose this one pretty bad, I think. I'm going Bills all the way. But,
okay. I mean, me too. I'm going Bills all the way too. Yeah, I got Bills winning this.
The Bills can't, like we said earlier, the Packers can't be as bad as we saw last week. I don't think the Bills are as bad. Even though they were in the game, they just weren't the Bills I think we expected to see. So I think they bounced back. I'm with you there. My last game is my favorite game of this week because, well, it wouldn't be except for the fact that I kind of think the Raiders are going to lose. So I'm going to substitute my favorite game this week with the Ravens and the Chiefs. I think this game is going to be excellent. We're going to see 2 dynamite quarterbacks. Despite the fact you hate Lamar Jackson so much, I think Lamar Jackson has a very good game here. So I like both those quarterbacks. But the Chiefs are going to win only because Mahomes is 11-0 in September. The Chiefs cannot lose September. It seems to be impossible. This is just fantasy dream. Play all your Chiefs guys, your Kelseys. I think Mark Andrews on the other end. You have 2 strong tight end games coming up. If I'm playing that running game for the Ravens, I like Tyson, but we both know that Lamar is the running back. We'll see how the rest of it goes. Chiefs are winning though.
The Chiefs gonna win this, and they're gonna win this handily. And I don't dislike Lamar Jackson.
A little bit.
I don't. I just think Lamar Jackson, to be in the league for 3 or 4 years now, if I'm not mistaken, and trying to get a big contract, he needs to throw a little bit more. I'm not saying anything that people don't know. I mean, it's just a statement of fact.
He's gonna be throwing this game, I guarantee. He's gonna have to
throw. Just stay in the game.
Yeah.
But my thing is, can he throw accurate?
He can.
Can he be accurate with his pass? Hey. I mean, that's all I'm saying.
I think he'll show you this week.
I don't.
Almost enough to say I play Sammy Watkins just because he gets his revenge game. Sammy Watkins is usually good for a few big blow-up games before he misses the next 7. But we'll see. If I'm playing a wide receiver, it's going to be Hollywood because I will be playing Hollywood. Sam Watkins is throw him in there if you want to kind of guy. But I think Lamar's going to be throwing the ball around. Here's my prediction, bold prediction. He has over 300 passing yards this game.
You know what's my bold prediction that he's not gonna do?
What's
He's
win?
gonna throw for under 200 yards.
Okay. Lamar Jackson.
He might run. He might run for 100, but he's definitely gonna throw for under 200 yards.
Over 300. You heard it here first.
Okay, and that bold prediction is gonna be so wrong.
Okay.
I
Get to
can't
your
wait
last
to
game.
Let's see. So I'm gonna go to my last game, and last game is the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. And it hurts my heart again to pick the Arizona Cardinals in this game. Minnesota, it's just something weird about Minnesota. They get in the game, they get down, and then they got to fight their way back. I think the defense of Arizona is going to be too much for them. I mean, you start, if you got Kirk Cousins, who had a great game last week, you go Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Thielen, Dalvin Cook, the usual Minnesota Vikings. And then Arizona, you're only starting Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. That running game stinks. AJ Green is terrible. I'm not starting any of those guys outside of them. So that's why I got Arizona winning this game.
The one true statement you said is Arizona is winning this game. The way they played last week, I was super impressed. And I was super disappointed with the way the Vikings played. I just need Justin Jefferson to play better because I spent some high picks getting him on my roster. So,
who you telling, man? Me too.
He needs to bounce back and quick.
Quick, very quick.
Yeah.
So,
well, there you have it. 40-second play clock. Hopefully we gave you guys some good suggestions for these games coming up. Hit us up in the comments and, of course, on our Twitter handles. And, we'll be glad to respond back to you, let you know what we think. Watch the show, like, subscribe, follow us on all of our social media pages, and stay tuned on Wednesday nights where we discuss how all the games went and how I got my predictions right and Rodney did not.
Well, I'll be back up to the top again, because that's what I do. I am a winner, and I'm going to win all my fantasy games this week. So I'm definitely a winner. So it doesn't matter. You know how we do. We here. We ain't going nowhere. Appreciate y'all. Hey, we talk to y'all Wednesday.
All right. Peace out.